Hello, my name is Abel Harold, and I am from Solid Rock Baptist Academy in Ontario, California. And the title of my famous speech is Guardians of Your Own Liberties by Samuel Adams, delivered on August 1st, 1776, to the delegates of the Continental Congress in the State House in Philadelphia, which is now called Independence Hall. No man had once a greater veneration for Englishmen than I entertain. They were dear to me, as branches of the same parental trunk and partakers of the same religion and laws. I still view with respect the remains of the Constitution as I would a lifeless body which had once been animated by a great and heroic soul. But when I am aroused by the din of arms, when I behold legions of foreign assassins paid by Englishmen to embrew their hands in our blood, when I tread over the uncoffined bodies of my countrymen, neighbors, and friends, when I see the locks of the venerable father torn by savage hands, and a feeble mother on her knees clasping her infants to her bosom, and imploring their lives from her own slaves whom Englishmen have allured to treachery and murder, when I behold my country, once the seat of industry, peace, and plenty, changed by Englishmen to a theater of blood and misery, heaven forgive me if I cannot root out those passions which it has implanted in my bosom, and detest submission to a people who have either ceased to be human or have not virtue enough to feel their own wretchedness and servitude. Men who content themselves with the semblance of truth and a display of words talk much of our obligations to Great Britain for protection. Had she a single eye to our advantage, let us not be so amused with words. The extension of her commerce was her object. When she defended our coast, she fought for her customers and convoyed our ships loaded with wealth, which we had acquired for her by our industry. She has treated us as beasts of burdens, whom the lordly masters cherish, that they may carry a greater load. Who among you, my countrymen, that is a father, would claim authority to make your child a slave because you had nursed him in infancy? 'Tis a strange species of generosity which requires a return infinitely more valuable than anything it could have bestowed, that demands as a reward for defense of our property a surrender of those inestimable privileges to the arbitrary will of vindictive tyrants which alone give value to that very property. Courage then, my countrymen. Our contest is not only whether we ourselves shall be free, but whether there shall be left to mankind an asylum on earth for civil and religious liberty. Dismissing therefore the justice of our cause is incontestable. The only question is, what is best for us to pursue in our present circumstances? We are now on this continent, to the astonishment of the world, 3 millions of souls united in one cause. We have large armies, well disciplined and appointed, with commanders inferior to none in military skill, and superior in activity and zeal. We are furnished with arsenals and stores beyond our most sanguine expectation, and foreign nations are waiting to crown success by their alliances. There are instances of, I would say, an almost astonishing providence in our favor. Our success has staggered our enemies and almost given faith to infidels. So we may truly say it is not our own arm which has saved us. The hand of heaven appears to have led us on to be, perhaps, humble instruments and means in the great providential dispensation which is completed. We have fled from the political Sodom. Let us not look back, lest we perish and become a monument of infamy and derision to the world. For can we ever expect more unanimity and a better preparation for defense? More infatuation of counsel among our enemies and more valor and zeal among ourselves? The same force and resistance which are sufficient to procure us our liberties will secure us a glorious independence and support us in the dignity of free imperial states. He who has the strength to chain down the wolf is a madman if you let him loose without drawing his teeth and paring his nails. From the day on which an accommodation takes place between England and America on any other terms than as independent states, I shall take the ruin of this country. Remember that Warren and Montgomery are numbered among the dead. Contemplate the mangled bodies of your countrymen, and then say, what should be the reward of such sacrifices? Bid us and our posterity bow the knee, supplicate the friendship, and plow and sow and reap to glut the harvest of the men who have let loose on us the dogs of war, to riot in our blood and hunt us from the face of the earth? If ye love wealth better than liberty, the tranquility of servitude than the animating contest of freedom, go from us in peace. We ask not your counsel or arms. Crouch down and lick the hands which feed you. May your chains sit lightly upon you, and may posterity forget that ye were our countrymen. To unite the supremacy of Great Britain and the liberty of America is utterly impossible. If there is any man so base or so weak as to prefer dependence on Great Britain to the dignity and happiness of living a member of a free and independent nation, let me tell him that necessity now demands what the generous principle of patriotism should have dictated. We have no other alternative than independence or the most ignominious and galling servitude. The legions of our enemies thicken on our plains. Desolation and death mark their bloody career, while the mangled corpses of our countrymen seem to cry out to us as a voice from heaven. Our union is now complete. Our Constitution composed, established, and approved. You are now the guardians of your own liberties. You have now in the field armies sufficient to repel the whole force of your enemies and their base and mercenary auxiliaries. The hearts of your soldiers beat high with the spirit of freedom. They are animated with the justice of their cause, and while they grasp their swords, can look up to heaven for assistance. Your adversaries are composed of wretches who laugh at the rights of humanity, who turn religion into derision, and would for higher wages direct their swords against their country or their leaders. Go on then in your generous enterprise with gratitude to heaven for past success and confidence of it in the future. For my own part, I ask no greater blessing than to share with you the common danger and common glory. If I have a wish dear to my soul, that my ashes may be mingled with those of Warren and Montgomery, it is that these American states may never cease to be free